This Republican senator in the comments on tax reform. It's Rob Portman, and he's talking about a sweeping overhaul of the tax code, saying that America's fallen behind with the current code and just can't compete globally at this point.
Rich Edson is live from Mason, Ohio, where he spoke exclusively with the senator this morning. Rich?
Well, good afternoon, or I guess technically still good morning. Senator Portman was here, home state, Procter & Gamble research facility. We had a lengthy discussion about tax reform. He says he's working with 4 or 5 other Democrats on the Senate Finance Committee looking for a partner to roll out his corporate tax proposal. He says he can and will get something done on corporate tax this year. He just needs a willing participant on the other side. I asked him about the Simpson-Bowles proposal that came out yesterday, calling for an additional $600 billion in tax revenue to come from tax reform. This would be on top of the $600 billion that was part of that fiscal cliff deal. Portman says that's a non-starter.
You've narrowed the base, and
Exactly.
So we've done the tax increases again about $620 billion over 10 years, primarily at the top end, and therefore hitting a lot of small businesses. Now it's an opportunity to say, okay, this is the code we have, which has become a monstrosity in terms of its size and complexity. It's about 10 times longer than the Bible and not nearly as interesting, as I joked yesterday at a speech. Now's an opportunity for us. Let's not talk about tax increases or tax cuts. Let's talk about instead, how do you get the tax code to work better for American workers? And this is about workers. There was a study done by the Congressional Budget Office with regard to the corporate tax system. 70% of the harm done by the higher corporate rates that we have is borne by workers. And it's borne in the form of lower salaries, fewer benefits, fewer job opportunities. So if we want to be competitive globally, if we want American workers to be able to compete on a level playing field, we got to reform our tax code. And I think there's a growing consensus about that.
Portman says that consensus comes from the administration. He says he believes Jack Lew during the confirmation hearings, the Senate Finance Committee last week, that there is at least a willingness among the administration to do something on corporate tax reform, along with the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Senator Max Baucus. So right now he's in conversation with other Democrats looking for a way to roll this out, as over on the House side, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Dave Kemp is rolling out his proposal. So a lot moving on corporate tax reform. However, still a long ways off from finding a place where Democrats and Republicans can really get together and perhaps move something onto the president's desk. Back to you.
Rich Edson, good interview, Rich, with an exclusive there with an influential senator out in Ohio. New report out